could you please hit that emoji button so I can see? Yeah, I see now. Thank you. It's such a beautiful day from my side to learn something new for teaching English to beginners. How are you guys feeling today? Okay, so we have 30 teachers here in our webinar and still waiting for more. Right. Before we start, I wonder how many years of experience do you have in teaching English to beginners? Please type in the chat box over here so I can see. How many years of experience do you have in teaching English to beginners? Over 5 years. Wow, so experienced. 8 years, 6 years. Wow. So many experienced teachers. 24 months. Wow, that's really specific. So we do have experienced teachers. We have fresh teachers joining this webinar today. Well, for me as a teacher myself, teaching English to be for our beginners or to young learners is a great journey of learning and growing for teachers ourselves. We always want to learn like new tips, new lessons from experienced teachers, from fresh teachers, so we can apply in our classroom use. So today for our webinar, we will learn some top tip, valuable tips from our speakers as well as hands-on activities to apply in our classroom. Okay, let me introduce our special speakers today. First, we have Ms. Samantha Reeve. She's a Twinkl ESL segment manager, supporting ESL teachers worldwide for 3 years. She has 6 years of experience teaching English in South Korea from kindergarten to adults, both online and in the classroom. Next up, we have Ms. Nhung Ta, or you guys can call her Miss Cindy. She has experience as a training manager and head of R&D, specializing in developing English learning products for children and working professionals and training teachers about teaching skills and effective material utilization. And she also one of our great Twinkl ambassadors. Next up, we have Miss Linh Lê. She's also one of our great Twinkl ambassadors. She's a freelance teacher in Hanoi. She teaches students of all ages, and she has been sharing Twinkl's value with fellow educators, especially newcomers. So welcome our speakers. Okay, so could you please hit that clap button so we can start? Right. Okay, I think we can start now. Are you ready? Okay, I will leave the stage for our first speaker, Ms. Samantha Reeve.
Good morning. Hello, everyone. Bear with me while I share my screen, please. Awesome. Can everyone see that okay?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can see.
Thumbs up. Perfect. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You know, when you're speaking on 2 screens and you can't quite see the camera and you can't quite see people's emojis in the chat, there's too many things to look at. I appreciate you letting me know. Okay. My presentation this morning is going to be talking about the core skills you need for teaching English to beginners. I called it the beginner's blueprint, the 5 key strategies for teaching new ESL learners. I'm going to go through what I think are the kind of core, what should be the core of your lessons when you're teaching English to beginners. And this will especially apply to young learners. I know that in Vietnam, a lot of children start to learn English at quite a young age, and if you're teaching beginners, most likely they're going to be preschool, young elementary students, but some of these strategies do apply to teaching English to teens or older students if they're also beginners in your classes. Okay, so 5 key skills for teaching in the classroom. We're going to be talking. Yes, Han.
Yes, Sam, can you please hit the present the full screen?
Yes, hold on, bear with me. Because it's in presenter mode, I don't think it will because I have notes up. in my other
Oh,
screen, it will always show
that's
like
okay.
this. Hold on, let's see if we can. No, I don't think it will because there's notes. It's in the presentation mode. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's okay. Thank you.
You all get to see a glimpse into the bookmarks I have on my Chrome browser. So the 5 key skills are going to be teacher talking time versus student talking time, audio and visual tools, repetition, games, and positive feedback for reinforcement. I want to make a note that Twinkl ESL are creating a course for how to teach beginners, a full video course that you can take. It'll be coming out towards the end of this year, and these principles will kind of follow through into that course. So it'll be a very similar thing to what I'm talking about today, but in more detail and with more guidance. So TTT versus STT. What is it? Teacher talking time versus student talking time. The key concepts in ESL teaching. TTT refers to a teacher spending time talking, giving instruction, while student talking time is the time that students are actively using the language in the classroom. Our role is to guide students and give them the concepts they need, but they'll only be able to achieve fluency through practice and using the language themselves. So it's important that you reduce the amount of time you're speaking and give students the opportunity to speak. You should aim to have a clear balance by giving clear instruction, modeling language, and encouraging student interaction through group work and activities. Some practical tips for including or for minimizing your TTT or teacher talking time are repeating instructions. This isn't you repeating the instructions, asking your students to repeat instructions for you. So when you explain a task, you tell them what they're going to be doing for the day, you ask them to repeat it back to you and explain the task back to you in their own words. It's a great way to get them talking. Implement think, pair, and share. So instead of immediately answering their questions, let them think, discuss the question together, and then share their ideas back to the class. So instead of you just telling them what to do all the time or repeating the concept, getting them to talk about it and discuss it. Ask open-ended questions to encourage them to elaborate rather than just asking them yes or no or simple questions. Ask them why, how, why do they think like this? Nice big open-ended questions. This is the tricky one, using silent waiting time. I know that we all want to fill awkward silences and we don't want a big kind of awkward silence in our classrooms, but sometimes you have to hold your thoughts, hold it for a while and try not to respond immediately to give them time to think and say. I know when I'm speaking in my second or third language, sometimes I need time to think and process my answers, and if people expect me to respond instantly, I really struggle to produce that language, but with a bit of time, I'm able to. Okay, next one. I'm going to go quite fast. Sensory learning. I'm going to draw on my experiences here. I'm British, but I live in South Korea. My son is learning Korean from his dad and his grandparents in his school, but I'm the one teaching him English. And what I've learned from being responsible for teaching English to him and bilingual language acquisition is that I can't just tell him a new word once. If I tell him, for example, table, I can't just tell him table once and memorize that and he's good to go. I have to use all the tools at my disposal, to help him embed that new word into his vocabulary. So to take this example further, I'm going to teach you 2 new words in Korean. If you're already someone that's very smart and can speak English, Vietnamese, and Korean, bear with me because you'll already know these words. But for everyone else, I'm going to use Korean as an example. Oh, hold on. I'm going to go through these first. So why do we use these audio-visual tools? I want to give a caveat that language acquisition, in language research, we know that the theory of learning styles is very popular, but in recent years, scientific research has shown that learning styles might not be backed up by scientific evidence, and students don't necessarily all have a learning style. That doesn't mean that you can't introduce different teaching styles and learning styles into your classroom. You can still use these different styles to teach and to help students understand things. And the reason we do so is because using these different elements such as audio-visual can enhance comprehension. Using images, videos, sounds, give context to new words. If I tell you a new word that's quite abstract, such as, is quite high level, but hope, it's going to be quite hard for you to understand just me saying hope, right? We need to visualize the word, understand it, give examples. Increases engagement. So having audio and visual elements will help your students engage with the material more, engage in the classroom. Will aid their memory retention, being able to associate words with images or sounds. I know that I listen to a lot of audiobooks, and when I'm walking down the street, I often remember the chapters of the books that I previously listened to on that street. So connecting that audio and visual memory is really important. Reduces language barriers. If your students, for example, for me, I'm a native English speaker. If I was teaching in a Vietnamese classroom, I might not be able to communicate and translate a word for my students. Giving these non-verbal cues, these gestures, these facial expressions really helps them to understand. Okay, so here we are. I'm going to teach you 2 new words in Korean to help you understand. So the first word we're going to learn is dalgi. Everyone try? Everyone say dalgi. Dalgi.
Dalgi.
Dalgi. Dalgi is strawberry. Dalgi. Okay, now I'm going to teach you another word and use some more audio visual techniques. Sagwa. Can everyone say sagwa?
Sagwa.
Nice. Sagwa. Sagwa. Sagwa is apple.
Apple. Oh.
Sagwa, sagwa, sagwa. Sagwa, sagwa, sagwa. Everyone who's brave enough to do it with me. Sagwa, sagwa, sagwa. Sagwa, sagwa, sagwa. Sagwa is apple. Let's build on that. We've got a quick. Oh, is it going to play? Oh, I don't think. Oh, the song's going to play. Hold on. I have a video. I don't think.
I think you need to share the audio tab.
Everyone. Oh, is the audio not working?
No.
Oh, well, let's all imagine that there was a lovely song saying sagwa, sagwa, similar to what I did. Everyone, one more time. Sagwa. And if I was in the classroom, I would probably have a big apple. I'd take a bite. I'd give some slices of apple to my students. Sagwa. Okay. Of those 2 words, which is easier to remember? Have a think about it, and maybe next week try and remember the word in Korean for strawberry and apple, and think about which one maybe was easier to remember. Is it easier to remember with the physical apple, the taste of the apple, singing the song, saying it together, watching a video, or is it easier to remember just repeating the word in class? So here's some quick, easy ways to create a varied lesson with audio-visual elements. You can use flashcards, plenty of these on the Twinkl website. These are some of my favorites. Drawings. I really recommend checking out a talk by Emily Bryson or following her on LinkedIn. She often talks about how to incorporate drawing into the classroom, and she's got some really good tips on incorporating drawing even into virtual online teaching. Drawings can be really helpful. Oh, there you go. Acting out the words. So if I was going to teach the word rabbit, I might put up the ears, make some bunny teeth, jump around. Songs. If you'd heard the song before, you would know that songs are really helpful for learning words and embedding them in our memory. This is one of my favorites for teaching phonics. And realia, real items. So for example, bringing the apple into the classroom, having a bite of the apple, real life objects to demonstrate words. The next element of our teacher toolbox of our skills for teaching beginners is repetition. Hold on, go back. It might seem obvious, but beginner students do need a lot of repetition, both within one lesson and lessons over time. Repetition helps language learners reinforce vocab, grammar, pronunciation, and it helps them build their fluency over time. When teaching vocab, you need to be repeating that multiple times in your lessons. Research shows that it takes anywhere from 6 to 20 meaningful encounters with a new word in order to memorize it. And for young students who might not even be fluent in their own languages yet, I think this number might be much higher. So you and I might be able to grasp sagwa quite quickly, but a student who is young, who maybe doesn't even know the word for apple in their native language, will need to have that repeated multiple times. Apologies. Here we go. So if you are looking to incorporate repetition into your classroom and you want to repeat concepts and cover them multiple times, for grammar, Twinkl is perfect for this. If you go into the Twinkl website and you search for a grammar point, you will find multiple games and activities that you can use, so you're not repeating the exact same lesson or the exact same activity to grasp a grammar concept with your students. For grammar, multiple exposures will be needed to reinforce that point. So at least 5 to 10 lessons on a grammar point in order for them to really understand and be able to use it. Being able to understand a grammar point and to be able to confidently use it are slightly two different skill sets. So it needs consistent practice. A study by Ellis in 1993 emphasizes the importance of frequent exposure for internalizing grammar rules. Similarly, Kaiser in 1998 discusses the role of practice in automizing grammar knowledge, highlighting repeated exposure are crucial for mastery. So Twinkl is perfect for this, especially for your A1, A2 beginner grammar concepts. It's going to keep. Here we go. Lots. This is just all for the past simple. All of these are games and activities just for the past simple tense that you can use in your classrooms. And if you want to do so, you just hop onto the website, search ESL, and then whatever grammar point that you're looking for, and you'll find all the lessons that you need. And then the last one, but possibly the most important, is positive feedback. Praise from teachers boosts students' confidence and motivation, makes them more willing to engage with learning, take risks in their language use. Positive reinforcement also creates a supportive and happy classroom environment where students feel encouraged to try. So classroom recognition, verbal praise, written feedback, rewards and incentive, encouraging body language. Hold on, just go back a couple. Yep. So verbal praise might be things like saying good job, great job, I love how you've used that new word. Written feedback could be reports or classroom notes in their textbooks. Rewards, I mean, every teacher has a different way of doing rewards in their classroom. Some teachers like to give candy, some teachers like to give stickers, some teachers like to reward with games. It really is quite a personal thing, so it's up to you, but however you choose to do it, try to incentivize hard work and incentivize confidence and encourage and using the language with rewards. Also classroom recognition, you might choose to use something like a teach student of the week, student of the day, to encourage their participation or their improvement. And then encouraging body language, smile, nod, give them the thumbs up. I know when I teach 4 to 5 years old, when they're beginner students, pre-A1, they don't understand what I'm saying. They don't understand me when I say great job for the first few weeks, but they do understand, well done. If someone tries really hard, I might run around the classroom like I've scored a goal in the World Cup. Anything you can do to make them feel really excited, happy, and for them to really understand how proud of them that you are. Okay, and very last one, games. We all know from our teacher instincts that games are really important for learning. Even the ancient Greeks and Romans understood that games and play-based learning was really effective tools. Jean Piaget, perhaps the most well-known developmental psychologist, said that play is intertwined with cognitive development in children, and this applies to teaching English too. So for your beginner lessons, your games are going to boost engagement, they're going to encourage communication, they're going to reinforce that grammar and vocabulary, they're going to build your students' confidence, and they're going to promote social learning. Oh, there you go. Has anyone got an example of a game that you use in the classroom that you really love? You can drop it in the chat. My favorite game to play is with beginner students is hiding a piece of paper in hands and passing it from student to student, and have someone come in and guess which student had the piece of paper between their hands. Students love to copy teach. So often when I play that game, I'll say, oh, maybe I've got the paper. I think I have the paper in my hand. Oh, it's mine. And then they'll begin to try to trick their friends that they have the paper. I say things like, oh, I can smell the paper. the paper's in my hand, I can smell it. And then they all try to trick their students into believing they're the one with the paper. And that's my favorite game to play. Anyone else got a favorite English game to play in the classroom? Okay, no ideas. On that note then, I'll pass over to my wonderful colleagues who are going to give you some real life practical examples of how to use these concepts in your classroom teaching. Stop sharing my screen, let you take over.
Okay, next up we will have Miss Nhung Cindy. Oh, Miss.
Teacher Linh.
Oh, yes, it's my turn. Hello, everyone. Now, can you see my screen now? Can you
Yes,
see
we
my
can see
screen? Okay, so, hello, everyone. So my name's Ling, and now it's my turn to share to you two kinds of activity for you to teach grammar for your beginner student. Okay, so are you ready? If you're ready, please type the number 1 in the chat box to me. Okay, let me see if you are ready or not. Okay, so first of all, I have a questions for all of you. How do your students feel when learning grammar in your class? I have 3 options. The first one, confused. The second one, frustrated. And the third one, interested. Please find the icon at the same my answer to answer to the chat box. Okay, so let me see. How about your answer? Please. I see all of you use the icon in the. Yes, I see Miss Nguyen. You raise your hand. Oh, Samantha. Okay. I see. I see a lot of answer number 1 and number 2. Okay. If your answer is number 1 and number 2, don't worry because you are not alone. And of course, in my class, look me take you back for a moment. How did you feel about grammar when you were students in the past? Is the same feeling as your student? Did you remember about your feeling when you were studying grammar? Yes. Yes, I see the answer. Yes, the same. Okay, so why after a long time, the way we teach grammar in the past and now is the same, right? So I hope that with my presentation today, I'm gonna give you 2 kind of activity, and both of that is the way we approach teaching grammar. We're gonna make our lesson more interactive. So let me introduce you with 2 kinds. Okay, core principles in my grammar lesson. The first one is about inductive approach, and the second one is task-based practice. So with the first one, it's like the way instead we start with rules, we start with real example for student, and student will notice the form, ask questions, and make discovery on their own. And then students use the grammar to do something real. For example, like talk about a picture, describe something, solve a task, or write the idea. So before I make a lesson plan for any grammar lesson, I always think about 2 core principles first. All right, so there are 3 stages. After I think about 2 core principles, I'm gonna generate it into 3 stages in my lesson. The first one is when students notice about grammar through the real example. And then I will try to make some question for them to understand the grammar. How do we structure, the form of the grammar, and of course, how we use the grammar in reality. And last but not least, the last stage is about practicing. Okay, so let's start with the first activity. With the first one, spot the difference. I think I'm sure many of you have used this as a fun game in your lesson. But here, I use this with purpose to support grammar noticing. And you can see my picture I show on my screen. The first picture is the way I pair up my children into the groups. And the way I set up the chair, they can see the picture of each other. So, okay. So this is a template I download from the Twinkl website. Actually, this is the first paper. It's the whole paper like this one, and I split it into the two pieces, the first one and the second one. And my children, each children have one piece like that, and they can't show the picture to each other. They should, practice to try to find the differences. But before they practice speaking, I'm gonna show the sample picture first, and then I guide them to try to find the differences. For example, if the first picture, the boy is wearing a blue t-shirt, but the second picture, the boy is wearing the red t-shirt. So they try to speak in English. It's about what grammar or what the knowledge I should give, such as input for my children. Okay, so it's not only the noticing stage for your students, but it's also the noticing stage for you, the teacher, to know what should you give for your student, to let them can speak, can understand, can speak. Okay, so let me talk to you more detail about 3 stages with the activity. The first one, I show students 2 pictures side by side, and I ask what difference. Okay, and then into the stage understanding, I will guide students to focus on what they just said. What patterns do you notice? And basically, the student need to use the structure such as there is, there are, has, have, or the present continuous structure to describe the picture. Okay, and last one, I pair student up as the picture I show here. One describe, the other listens and finds the differences. And after that, sometimes I request my student to write on into the paper from 3 to 5 full sentences to describe the picture, and then they're gonna stand in front of the classroom and present about the differences between 2 pictures. Okay, so the reason why I introduce the activity to all of you is that the activity very easy to set up. We have a lot of template in Twinkl website, and of course it's visual, it's conceptual, and it leads students naturally to use grammar, right? No rule and no worksheet. So it's just speaking and the use grammar together, and of course it's fun. Okay, so let's move on to the second activity. It's about sentence builder in action. Okay, with this activity, students just build the sentence in action. So I'm gonna show you something like that. Can you see my screen? It's also the template from the Twinkl website. Okay, so the reason why the activity is lighter because you can move this piece of paper like this one. Okay, and you can see that the part of speech Okay, I show the student the part of speech, and the only thing they need to do is just make a new sentence when they slide the paper. Okay, and when I implement this activity in my classroom, my student feedback to me that, oh, teacher, it's really easy to make a sentence. Okay, and with this kind of activity, you're gonna make your student discover sentence structure by building sentence themselves. Okay, they no need me to give them the rule. For example, like subjects first, and then verb, and then objective, HSR. They just use this one and make the sentence. So in my class, of course, we need to scaffold our students know what to start with this kind of material. So first of all, I'm gonna tell my student to make sentences in English as an example I show on my screen. Okay, and the round 2, I'm gonna let my student to translate from Vietnamese sentence I give to them into English using slider like this one. Okay, and the third one, I give them a limited time, for example, like from 1 to 2 minutes to make a new sentence, even though that's silly sentence. Okay, so after time's up, I'm gonna count and check the meaning, check the meaning, and take the order of sentence they make into the limited time, and they can share the sentence to your friend, to their friends, and to other group. Okay, so why does this work for beginner? Of course, it's interactive and it removes the fear for your student about making a mistake. Okay, especially in writing and in speaking. So with 2 kinds of activity, it gives your student a chance to discover grammar. Okay, it's not like you feed them the structure or the rule. So they can feel that, oh, grammar is not difficult as I think, and they more confident to learn. And of course, they can use grammar into communicative skills such as speaking and writing. So to find the template in Twinkl website, you just search the keyword like English sentence slider. So it's many template for you. So let me show you a bit. Okay, many things. But of course, you can download this template and edit following your lesson. Okay, because the template is just focused on some kind of grammar structure, you know. But in reality, for example, like my lesson, I teach my children with active and passive voice. So I just download this template. Oh, excuse me. Okay. Okay, so I try to find this one. The version I can edit is like editable version. So you can freely to edit and adapt to your lesson. Okay, so oops, sorry. Okay, so the last thing I want to share to you is just about let's try to adapt and to implement some interesting, some new activity in your class, even though that is just about grammar. Okay, so I just want to remind you about 2 core principles behind the activity. So the first one, inductive approach. The second one, task-based practice. And with 2 kinds of activities, spot the differences and sentence builder is the most activity about the most interactive activity, and of course it's gonna help your student love grammar more and love your lesson more. So as teacher, remember that we don't just teach grammar, we create the environment where learner feels safe and curious and excited to try. So let's have our students say grammar is not boring anymore. Okay, so that's all my sharing. So thank you for listening, and now we're gonna waiting for more interactive activity from Miss Nhung. Oh, wait me a second. Stop.
Okay. Yeah, thank you for the introduction. And I see the question from one of the teachers. So, yeah, maybe Miss Ling, are you going to answer the questions right away or maybe later? I'm not sure. Yeah, okay, maybe later. All right, so I'm really excited to share with you guys some other activities. Yeah, I agree with Miss Ling that grammar is no longer boring with the sliders and with some activities like spot the differences, like she shared before. We can combine them to teach different skills as what we intended to teach the students. And I have brought all of them into my classroom and I see they're all amazing. The sliders, I really love them. Yeah, thank you. And now I'm going to share my slide. Sorry, it's here. Yes. Okay. Not this one, sorry. Okay. So, yeah, I hope that you can see my slide well. If you can see it, can you just raise your thumbs up, please? Yeah, thank you, thank you. Okay, so today I'm going to share with you 3 more activities that you can bring them into your classroom and teach your students the speaking skills and the grammar skills as well. Yeah, in Sam's part, she mentioned about realia. It means it refers to the authentic materials or real life objects. Okay, and before I share my first part, I would like to have a quick survey because here we have a lot of experienced teacher. So I would like to know what kind of authentic materials have you brought into your classrooms? Like in my classrooms, I have brought the clothes, the toys, and also some kind of fruits, food also in my classroom. So if you have brought also some real life objects into your classrooms, can you just type it in the box chat and share with me what have you brought into your classroom, please? Okay, so I'm going to read the box chat. Food, of course, I think food is amazing, right? They can taste them, like what Sam did, taste an apple. Toys, I agree with Miss Guia. Okay, we have many toys, especially for the teachers who have children. The blogs, great idea. Okay. Yeah, can you type more, please? Have you ever brought some real life objects into your classroom? Okay. Yeah, flowers. Thank you to teach the colors maybe, and even numbers. I think so. Candies. Wow. Balls, clothes, color wheel. Thank you. Wow, I like it. The toothbrushes, hairbrushes, etc. The tickets, I like it. The maps that we collected, I collected from the supermarket, the flyers, things like that. Receipts for the role plays. Thank you, Sam, for the nice ideas. Vehicles, fruits, stuffed animals. Thank you so much. I like them, everyone. So thank you so much. Just a quick survey, quick question. So I would like to say that realia plus Twinkl resources equal engaging lessons. And a happy news for everyone is that today is a free day from Twinkl website, the 14th of April, just today. So you have around 20 more hours, right? No, half day. So I think you can take this golden chance to have more materials after the webinar today. And you can apply some activities that the ambassadors and the speakers share today. So first of all, I would like to, actually we have a lot, right? many real years in the classroom, but I would like to share with you one that really works in my classroom. It is the magic umbrella. And why do I share this one? Because it's quite easy to prepare, and we can have sensory learnings. Student can touch, student can run, do some activities, and we can bring the songs into the classrooms, like Sam said before, so we can reduce the teacher's talking time and increase the students' talking time in class. So all what we need to do is to prepare the clear umbrella. I'm not sure if you can see it well because the background, but I hope, the clear umbrella and the wire, and we simply stick it at the tip like this, and then you can stick the flash cards here, and it will be easier with the resources from Twinkl because we have a lot of resources, so you can put it here. And what do I do in my classroom? I am the teachers here, like you can look at these. I spin the umbrella, then I sing the song, how's the weather, how's the weather, how's the weather today? Then I say a word, then my students will come and touch, and I can bring it higher, so my students get more excited in the classroom. They try to touch the right one. Or I can let them to say out the word, like, how's the weather? Then they say the word, and teacher is going to ask them like, okay, like for example, they say sunny. I say, is it sunny? No, it isn't. Is it sunny? No, it isn't. Then I choose another one. Is it sunny? Yes, it is. Then I can create the, conversations, and more interactions in my classroom. And also to make it better, I will switch the roles with my students. And in this picture, you can see, I invite one of the students to come and bring the umbrella and do the same thing. So they can engage in the lesson. And by this activity, I see that the classrooms, is more active, and also they can remember the words quickly after 1 or 2 lessons. And for the higher level students or the older students, I will combine teaching the close topic. For example, when I ask them about one kind of weather, then I ask them, so what do you wear when it's hot? What do you wear when it's cold? So we can have more interactions, we can practice more speaking in classroom, and we can review more vocabularies. Okay. And relating to this topic, because today is free day from Twinkl website, so I would like to introduce some other resources. This one is the weather spinner. I have brought them into my classrooms and they were amazing. And this one is the weather dice. It's easy to make. I saw one of the questions from the chat box. We print them in colors, but we can laminate them for the longer use. The dice here, or the spinner, okay? And this weather book is kind of good. Students, you can print them black and white, then students can draw. So we can use drawing activities in the classroom like Sam shared before, and we can have the students get engaged more in the lesson. They color, they draw, and they write to make their weather book. So it's a good idea. And the second activity I would like to share is what's wrong activity. We are going to use some pictures with some details that are wrong in the context, like this, everyone. When I show these pictures, my students are like overexcited, I think so. And they laughed a lot. They really like it. And I don't need to say, hey, everyone, what's this, what's that, or like what we traditionally do. But they pay attention to the pictures and they try to figure out what is wrong in the picture. For the higher level students, they can use more complicated vocabularies, like the chair is upside down. But if the students are not that big or not that good, then they can just say, oh, the chair is not good, things like that. And also I have some other pictures, like this one is in the park, or the boy is eating something. We don't know. No one knows in the classroom. So the students try to guess, oh, can be hamburger, can be pizza, can be something. And they name a lot of food and something that can be eaten. So I see that the classroom, every student is active in the classroom. And this one, the book is upside down also. So we can have some guiding questions for the students, like, oh, where are they? Right? At the park. So the students confirm that, okay, they are at the park. And what is wrong? What is not correct here? Or what is the girl doing? What is the boy doing? We can have some, guiding questions for them to encourage them to speak. But actually, they will do that without questions from teacher, as what I can see. Okay, and then we can show them the right picture so that they can stop the discussions and stop the noise in the classroom. Okay, so I also would like to hear from the teachers here. What do you think we can teach the students through this activity? Okay, what can we teach? We can teach a lot of things through one activity. Yeah, and it depends on teacher's intention or the lesson plan. What do you want to teach them? So you can focus on that. And in today's session, I want to make it open. So I really want to hear from the teacher. If we show the wrong pictures like this, what can we teach the students in the classroom? So can you write into the box chat some keywords? So yeah, I'm going to read it, please. What can we teach? Okay, the differences in two pictures. Yeah, like we can teach speaking skills, right? And when the students spot the differences in the pictures, they can learn grammar, like what Ms. Ling shared before, present continuous tense. Yeah, of course, vocabularies, thank you. And what is missing or what is wrong here? So we can enhance their speaking skills. Yeah, we can teach the actions, grammar, vocabs, nice. And more than a language. Yeah, I love it. Critical thinking, pre-listening. Wow, so nice. So it's an open question. So I know that you have a lot of ideas, right, to utilize them into your teaching. Okay, so thank you very much for your comments. I'm going to go back to my slide here. Right, I agree with you. We can enhance the speaking skill, observation skills more than a language, right? Because they need to see, they need to figure out what is wrong or right, so they can improve the critical thinking. They have to speak in a full sentence, so sentence building skill, express an idea or opinions about the pictures or about one detail in the picture. And speaking in pairs or groups. So this one is also a tip from Sam, that we can pair them or group them, and we can reduce the teacher talking time, right? We can use them into, this one, pairing or grouping the students. And of course, the vocabularies development. Okay, yeah. And the last one is about grammar. I would like to share, and to be specific, it is to teach the comparison in the classrooms. So I know that comparisons is, full of structures, and different cases to consider about. So it will be more fun if we can bring something different rather than the words, rather than the worksheet or the structures into the classroom. And I have shared this idea to the teaching community of Twinkl resources. And yeah, many teachers applied it into the classroom, and it sounds like, yeah, they can have successful lessons then. So in this webinar, I also would like to share with you guys this scale. It looks interesting, right? The students will be excited about this one, and they will try to scale like, okay, which one is heavier, which one is more blah 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 than the other one. So we don't just teach them heavier or lighter. We can also talk about some other adjectives and some other characteristics of the objects that we are showing them, like the tigers or the hawk, yeah, ducks and elephants. And we can go through the long adjectives or adverbs or the shorter ones. So yeah, actually this activity you can add into your classroom to reduce the teacher talking time. And we can apply the inductive approach like Ms. Ling has shared before. So yeah, so the students will get the discovery first, and then you will conclude to the theory or the structure later on, after the practice and after the activities. And for this one, I really love it. So I would like to share it here. If you are teaching your students comparison and make something practical, make it real. I like it because they can find something in their house, they draw it, and then they write it. And then we can ask them to practice the speaking, talk about what is the tallest thing in your house, how tall is it, and what is the heaviest thing in your house, or what is the smallest thing in your house, or the most comfortable thing in your house. So with all of them, they think that, oh, language or English is something very close to us, and we can, and they, it's easier for them to apply into their daily practice. Okay, so that brings me to the end of the speaking today and its Q&A sessions. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Young. Thank you, Ms. Young. All right. Okay, so we just passed 15 minutes of our webinar today. Time flies so fast. Okay, I believe that you guys, teachers, know a lot of valuable tips and also experience from our speakers today. So let's jump to our quick Q&A. We have a few minutes left, so we'll have a few questions from our teachers. The first question, how could teachers help young learners stay focused for longer periods? That's an interesting question. How could teachers help young learners stay focused for a longer period? That's a question for our speakers today. What do you think? Anyone? Teachers, speakers, if you do have answer for this question, please feel free to share with our audience. How can teachers help young learners stay focused for longer periods? By what activities? Miss or Miss Lin?
Yeah, Miss Ánh, I think my internet is already unstable, so can you please remind me the questions?
Okay. How can teachers help young learners stay focused for longer periods?
Oh, I think it's quite difficult for teacher in is my own period experience, because young learners, they just only focus from 10 to 15. 15 is just such a long, but in general is just average from 5 to 10 minutes. So it's our role to make a lesson plan, just give them to input, feed them the important lesson.
Oh,
Maybe to practice. Yeah, I think so. It's my own experience. So what about you, Samantha? I think you raised your hand.
Yeah, I was just going to add, I agree with you that 10 to 15 minutes is a long time in itself for a student focus, especially when we're talking about young learners. I think it's important for us to have some empathy and sympathy. I think it's natural for us to feel frustrated when students get restless or they can't focus. But we have to remind ourselves that it's developmentally normal for especially young learners to not be able to focus for that long. That's normal for them, and just give them the kind of patience and understanding. I think trying to structure your lesson in a way where you're not repeating any task for too long, you're not repeating the same kind of tasks back to back, you're not asking them to do 3 worksheets or 3 writing tasks. Build in break times, build in a dance break, building time for them to run around the classroom and expend their energy. Try to make tasks short, simple, and just be flexible. If you're doing a task and you're finding that their concentration is waning, you might want to switch up your lesson plan and try something else. Have a brain break. Everyone go outside and have a deep breath of fresh air and then come back in. Whatever you can do to accommodate them and to kind of allow them to recharge and keep pace with your lessons.
Okay. I have another tips for all of you. In my classroom, I give my student a chance to give me the activity and the content they like to study or they like to join the activity in my classroom. It's like the library, the library, but it's from me, it's from my student. So whenever I feel that they feel bored with my lesson or feel unconcentrated to the lesson, I will let them pick one, come to my table and then pick one, and I will use that activity for them. So it's gonna make the student more active and more interested into the activity we guide them to join. Yeah. So let your student to build, to contribute to the lesson. So it makes them more, excited and focus more on the lesson.
okay, totally agree. Thank you so much for your answer. We have another question. I think we have just time for one question left. Okay, another question is, what daily habits or practices can help improve speaking skills over time for young learners?
What? Oh, it's like the question from the learners, not from the teachers. I think so. Okay, so daily habits, right? Daily habits. Okay, I have thought about some ideas, so I would like to raise my voice first, and then Sam and Miss Lin can add, some other ideas. So habits is simply something that we do it every day, without much effort, right? So I think we should represent them, the English into the objects in our daily life, and also some simple phrases, in our daily life. We can, I think this question is for guiding the parents how to keep English surrounding for their children. I have guided some parents this one, so I would like to share. We can use like a piece of paper, and stick onto some real objects in the house. Like this is the chair and this is the table, and we can just do it with 5 within a time, and it depends on the learning speed of the children. We can see how many words should we do it for the children within how many days. For example, 5 words in 2 days can be a nice number. And then we teach the vocabularies through some some simple languages, like, okay, this is a chair, or that is a table, or we can also say the chair is big, and the TV is small, things like that. So they are the daily things, and we do it every day, so it can become the habit for the young learners. Yeah, thank you. So that's my idea.
Oh, wow. That's a great answer. Okay, I think that's the end of our Q&A session today. On behalf of Twinkl Vietnam, thank you to our speakers, Sam, Lynn, Nhung. Thank you so much for your time today. Thank you for sharing a lot of good lesson experience, tips, hands-on practice to our audience, to our teachers today. And we hope we can see you guys again in our upcoming webinar. And okay, another good news is today also Twinkl Vietnam Free Day. So Free Day is happening right now, everyone. And so for today, with our teachers toolbox from the webinar, you guys can also have free access to download all resources and website Twinkl Vietnam, including assessment, ESL resources, curriculum, webinars, and 1.5 million resources available on Twinkl Vietnam website. So after this webinar, please feel free to go directly to Twinkl Vietnam, download everything you like, everything you need for your lesson, and we will see you again in our upcoming next webinar. Okay, thank you everyone. Thank you teachers. Thank you speakers.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.